Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight, we will be discussing a creepypasta that involves Pokemon Gold. I know this is silver, this is just close enough. And ticking down the seconds till the game ends. And involving a very interesting story. I'll get more into that in the end of the video. Okay, here's the creepypasta. When I was young, I liked Pokemon, as most kids did back in the day. I guess that is true. Despite being fairly young to the series, maybe about 6 or so, I played Pokemon Red and I loved it. Unfortunately, as I got into the double digits, I went through that horrible phase where I thought that everything I loved when I was younger was childish. Well, of course, this included Pokemon, so I missed out on Pokemon Gold, Silver, Ruby, and Sapphire, and even Fire Red and Leaf Green. Wouldn't that also include Emerald? Or am I getting them mixed up? Oh well. Though early in high school, I managed to get my hands on Pokemon Diamond, and I loved Pokemon all over again. I didn't like the game itself, although I far from hated it. That's how I feel about Shadow the Hedgehog. The whole concept of gameplay of it reminded me of why I loved the series in the first place. I went and bought everything I could. I managed to find a Fire Red and an Emerald in a local game traders. And I bought Heart Gold when it came out. Hell, despite having the remake, I even went back and played the original Red again. I'm even thinking of buying Yellow, as I never got the chance to play that. I guess, but it's the same as Red, just Pikachu follows you around. Because I had both Red and Fire Red, I felt I needed to get both Gold and Heart Gold. But Gold was hard to find, whereas in my game traders, who frequently stocked Yellow and the GBA games, they didn't stock any from 2nd generation. This irked me, so I went online to get a copy. Sure enough, I found no one going for, no, not $1, although that would have been nice, $20. Okay, you didn't really need to put parentheses there. It was the cheapest one there, so I bought it. Always with the second best option. It took about 3 weeks, but it finally arrived. I opened the packaged up and took the golden colored game out and placed it in my limited edition Pokemon Game Boy Color. Well, technically it wasn't mine, but my brothers and I share all our game stuff as if it was everybody's, and they didn't want it when they moved out, so sister hand-me-downs, great. The game screen starts up like normal, but there was no save before me. I was a little disappointed, as I would have liked to see how far the previous owners have gotten and what they had. Why would you do that? To me, that's just an invasion of privacy. Nonetheless, I started a new game. I named my character Gold. Generic, I know, but hey, I'm a girl. I couldn't name him after me. I just realized how bad I sounded when I said that. And my rival, Silver, of course. The game played perfectly, that is, until I got to Violet City. Nothing was wrong with the city itself, everything was fine, there was no creepy music, and I beat the monks at the Sprout Tower, no problem. Nothing was wrong, but there was something wrong with Faulkner. Don't get me wrong. Okay, are you saying don't get me wrong all the time? Now I just feel like I just said it twice. Well, I admitted it, oh well. His sprite wasn't decaying or anything. He didn't say anything weird before the battle, and none of his Pokemon were harmed either. It was after the battle, which was weird. Instead of taking me, I immediately get the badge. After the badge get music finished and the Gold got the Zephyr badge, text box disappeared. He simply said, ... I pressed A, and he went on. Tick, tick, tick. I then got the TM and was able to leave. That was it. I tried talking to him again, but he just says the same thing. I talked to one other trainer in the gym to see if he still says the same thing. Surprisingly, he said something different from the last time I spoke to him. He is waiting. Who is waiting, and for what? That's a bit creepy, but I saved and continued with the game. After that, I'm a little surprised that the game hasn't changed at all. It all plays out like the way it was meant to. Maybe that was just a glitch. I almost forgot about it until I came to the next gym leader, Bugsy. The same thing happened. He said what he meant before the battle, but after, the badge was immediately gotten, and all he said was, ... tick, tick, tick. And then the TM was obtained, and like Faulkner, he just said the same thing if I just tried to talk to him again. I made sure to talk to the trainers after I beat them before I took on Bugsy, and they said nothing out of the ordinary. However, after Bugsy was beaten, one said the same thing Faulkner's trainer said. He is waiting. I assumed the other would just say the same thing, but I was wrong. The other said, hurry. As I progressed through the game, I built my team consistent of Typhlosion, Umbreon, Dragonair, Sudowoodo, and Togetic. Right? Weren't a few of those introduced in like Generation 3 and somewhere in Generation 4? Or what? I don't like to nickname my Pokemon. I feel I don't need one, but they were still my pals. No, I don't name my Pokemon either. I found that storyline itself was fine. Not even Silver said anything out of his usual dicky character. But all the gym leaders had said the same thing when they were beaten. And depending on how many trainers in the gym there were, I'd get new phrases. When I had beaten Claire, I had gotten these phrases. He is waiting. Hurry. The badges must be obtained. He must be battled. The ticking must stop. By this point, I assumed that the game was a hack, and may not even be finished when there was nothing wrong with it outside the gym leaders. I flew to New Bark Town and to go on my way to defeat the Elite Four. They all said the same thing when they were beaten. ... Tick, tick, tick. And of course, they still said that if you tried to talk to them again. It was getting really annoying. But Lance was last, and I thought that finally this ticking would stop. His team goes down fairly easy thanks to both Sudowoodo and Dragonair. After his defeat, I was greeted with a ... Oh great, I thought as I pressed the A button, but he said, don't keep him waiting. All of a sudden, the screen goes black. Then the credits rolled, just like that. No congratulations on beating the Elite Four. No Hall of Fame, just straight to the credits. The game restarted like normal and I'm back in Gold's room. The game is normal once more and I'm now able to go into Kanto. This was the best part I was most excited about when playing Heart Gold, and thus I was just as excited to playing it through on Gold. I started with Janine, who was the lowest level of all the Kanto gym leaders. Wait, wasn't it Brock? She goes down easily, and surprisingly, her text appears and she says is ... I clicked A and she says something slightly different than the others. Don't keep him waiting. Tick, tick, tick. Nice change of pace. Great. Really great. The trainers don't say the same thing either. In fact, they all just say ... now. I continued on, beating gym leader after gym leader, and all said the same thing. By this point, I had 13 badges. I just needed to wake up Snorlax to get to the other side of Kanto. I caught Snorlax and headed through the Diglett cave. Before I got to beat Brock, though, I went to Mount Moon to beat Silver for the last time. Wait, Silver was in Mount Moon? Wow, I didn't even do that part when I last played Silver. Wow. Spoilers! The battle was mine, of course, and Silver still can't believe he lost again. But he says something slightly different than what he was meant to. I lost again. Gold, you should be careful. There's something not right. And he leaves, and then he seems to run slightly faster than he did in the other times I beat him. But I put it past me and continued on to beat Brock. Of course, he says the same thing as the other gym leaders they were beaten. Okay, I'm getting really annoyed with saying that over and over. The same with Blaine. I now had 15 badges. All that was left was blue. I actually call him green, but because of the game I called him blue. I will here too. Does it really matter? I know green was released in Japan, but does it matter? The battle was close, but in the end I win. Again, the badge get music played automatically and the text box Gold got the Earth badge pops up. But instead of the ellipses, I'm greeted with Gold's name. Gold, Blue says. Stay away from Mount Silver. Don't listen to what everyone else. Stay away from it. Everyone else? As in, those said he was waiting? And then it clicked. Mount Silver. Red. Red is waiting. But why did I need to stay away from him? I nervously clicked A to make Blue continue. For the sake of you and me, the ticking needs to continue. I don't know why, but that one sentence freaked the shit out of me. But I continue nonetheless, going to Oaks and getting permission to go to Mount Silver. Blue's words went around in my head, but I was too curious not to go. And this was Red, right? You had to beat him in order to really complete the game. So I went in. I explored everywhere, grabbing the items and looked everywhere. Finally, I found him. Red. He was looking the other way, of course, and I readied my Pokemon for battle and saved. Then I went up to him. I was met with his usual silence where the battle ensued. Pokemon Trainer Red would like to battle. It was just as epic as it was in Heart Gold. I hardly cared that his Pikachu was completely owned my team. Let me think, get a rock type and you could beat the Pikachu in one hit. For some reason, I didn't white out. The screen cut back to the overworld and for the first time I heard, well, Red speak. ... Tick, tick, tick. Then the screen turned white and the text box read, Gold whited out. For some reason, finding the ticking much creepier when Red does it. I then spent hours upon level grinding to I could beat the legendary trainer. I didn't even do that. I managed to beat half of his Pokemon with the Feraligatr that was like at a level 65 maybe. I think. I don't know, it's been a while. I managed to get them all up to level 70, but which I thought would do. After all, if my team in Heart Gold could beat his level 88 Pikachu and team at level 68, then my team in Gold could beat his level 82 Pikachu and a team at level 70, armed with stronger Pokemon with a bunch of revives, Hyper Potion, and full restores. I was ready for him. Sounds like me when I go up against the Elite Four every damn time. I talked to him again, and he says nothing. The battle starts, and again goes out Pikachu. Sudowoodo gets out first, and I use Earthquake. Red's Pikachu obviously goes first, and it uses Tail. Luckily, though, it misses, and Earthquake manages to take it down in one. Red sends out Blastoise, and I didn't have any type advantages for it, so I counter with Dragonite using Outrage to take it down. I do, but Blastoise has also far damage on Dragonite. And her health has gone down in the red zone. Venusaur's is up. I switch out for Togetic. It's fast with his hits, and hits first with flying moves, landing... Wait, Venusaur doesn't even have flying moves, I don't think. Landing super effective hits. However, they don't do a fat lot, despite being super effective. And Venusaur, unfortunately, takes down Togetic. Oh, you were talking about Togetic. I was like, Venusaur doesn't, I don't think, have any flying moves. I didn't want to use Typhlosion just yet, and he's my highest level Pokemon, but I have no choice. One eruption and Venusaur falls. Snorlax comes out next. Another eruption and takes out a bit more than half. One more and Snorlax also fails. Next is Espeon, and Umbreon is sent to take it on. Despite going first, most of Espeon's attacks are psychic and do nothing. A few faint attacks and Espeon faints as well, and Charizard is last. I leave Umbreon out and I use to heal my Dragonite fully before Umbreon is taken down in one hit by Charizard's Flamethrower. Dragonite then comes out and two Surf Slayer Reg's Charizard fails. I yell triumphantly as I always feel proud after defeating Red. It cuts back to the overworld, and as usual, Red has his textbooks full of ellipses. I press A, but instead of it fading to black to him and disappeared, the text continues. ... Boom! I feel a jolt of electricity and automatically drop the Game Boy. After a couple seconds to recover from surprise, I look at it and see that it switched off. I turn back, but it tells me that the save file has been corrupt. I try a new game, but it tells me the same thing. Then I realize after Red, there's nothing. Once you beat him, there's nothing left to do. The ticking was leading up to that. As long as Red was undefeated, everyone could continue existing. But I beat him, and so he destroyed their world. Gold's world, Blue's world, everyone's world. He destroyed it. He was waiting too. I should have listened to Blue, because now all I can hear is ticking, and I own a digital clock. For the sake of you and me, the ticking needs to continue. And that was Tick, Tick, Tick. This one was interesting, but kind of a good type of interesting. It has a very neat premise to it, but the problem with it is some parts I found to be kind of confusing, but then again I haven't played Silver in a very long while. In fact, the Silver footage you saw is the first time I practically played it in a very long while, so I might be a little rusty on some things. I want to apologize right now if I got a few things wrong. But anyway, the beginning kind of lagged a little bit, and some parts were very cliched and very annoying to be saying the same stuff over and over. Got very annoying. But in the end, it was a very interesting creepypasta. Very interesting, very different, too. Alright, well then, I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Like what you saw? Like what I did? Then comment and subscribe to my channel. Also, I also have a Facebook page and a Twitter. If you want to try to follow me or like my Facebook page, then go right ahead. I'm not going to try to force you. Please do it. That is all. Bye.